Assalamualaikum and a very good day. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, in this video, I'd like to share with you one of the methods that I use to help me with training design. Okay, one of the templates that I use to help me with my training content design is this particular template that I have here, which I will put in the description below for you to download, for you to use. So I'll put this template on the whiteboard here to help me refer to each of the columns that we have. Now, first and foremost, when we design a training session or the content for a training session, we need to understand what is the main objective or the learning outcome that we want to get out of the session. So when we write a proper learning outcome, of course there's the time limit, the performer, but more important than that is the three components of performance, condition and standard if available. So the top half, or I would say the higher part of the template is getting you to focus on what is the performance, should be verb related to Bloom's taxonomy. That would be the best reference, or that would link the objective better. So that's the performance, and then you have the condition of the performance and what standard are you looking at. Now, standard can be a standard reference, or basically you just have a basic standard. For example, most of the common standard for picking up a phone call is within 3 rings. So 3 rings is here. So if I were to put a goal, an objective, what I will be doing is, by the end of the training session, participant needs to do what? Let's say, for example, they need to remember. So the keyword here is remember. So what is it that they are or they are required to remember? So this is the condition. Let's say, for example, at the end of the session, participants are required to remember what? Pick up a phone call. Pick up a phone call. Pick up a phone call within, the standard is within 3 rings. So basically that's a simple objective that we have here. The performance is to remember doing what is the condition? To pick up a phone call within 3 rings. So now we go into the main part of the template, which is I put there a few items. I put on this side of it is the segment. So segment, let's say your session is for about 1 hour. So any section of a training would have the opening, the body, and also the closing. Okay. What will you do in the opening section of your learning or your lesson? What would be in the main body, the main content, and then what would be the closing part of it? Now, every training, every learning would definitely needs to have the learning points. So what will be the learning points? What visuals are you going to use in that session? Props, probably something that you can show. And then how are you going to get the involvement, the interactive activity with your participants? So let's say, for example, to be able to remember, pick up the phone call within 3 rings, I must start off with probably an icebreaker. The idea is an icebreaker. Let's say, for example, the icebreaker is me asking audience a question. I ask participants a question about whether they are used to picking up telephone, getting phone calls and whatnot. And probably on my slides, I would like to have a picture or an icon of an old telephone. Okay. So, and then after the icebreaker, what will I do? Taking a look at the objective is for them to remember. So one of my strategy is to always repeat and emphasize. So maybe I would like to talk about or introduce to them what is the process of a phone call. What would I like to show? Maybe I would like to show a flowchart. How do I get it to be interactive? Apart from asking questions, maybe I can get inputs. Invite participants to give inputs on this. Maybe I would like to talk about the methods of answering a phone call. So that would be, I would like to show them a list of steps. Maybe. Okay. How do I get them to interactive? Maybe here's where I do a little bit of role play. Okay. And then maybe the last part of the body itself is maybe I would like to get them to understand the script. Maybe there's a proper script, and in that script I will give them handouts. A handout of the script, and get them to read and repeat the script, make sure they understand it. Maybe they also need to fill it in, certain parts of it. They need to fill in, like the names when they do the greeting and so on and so forth. Okay, in the closing section, towards the end of it, maybe I will show a video of somebody picking up a phone call. And then I'll get them to answer some questions, maybe a quiz. And from there, I'll do a conclusion. Okay, so the idea of filling up this template is to help you structure your content, make it very visible to you, to design and see whether the sequence does not have to be fixed. I mean, you can move it around, but the idea is to ideate, let all of your thoughts be poured onto the paper, and from there, hopefully you'll be able to see what are some of the contents. This particular template that I have here, either you can use it one template for the whole training session, or maybe you would like to have every module one particular template, or every objective one particular template, to enable you to ensure that the trainer links the learning objective with the content of the training. So that's the idea of this simple little template. Hopefully this helps you to plan your training content for the next session. Give it a shot. Let me know how it works for you, and all the best, and hopefully you'll be able to come up with a more structured and comprehensive training content for your next training session. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Stay safe.